Welcome back, friends. Today we've got a 587 item level mage that I just completed Zekvir Hardmode on. This was a fun fight, rounding out all three clothies as the superior armor class. I'll speak briefly on the talents, show you the Brann setup, then we'll watch the fight itself, and at the end there's a clip reel of a bunch of failed attempts. I hope you guys enjoy that. If you're not yet subbed to the channel, it really helps out a lot. We're looking to get to 1K. Appreciate you guys so much. Let's get going. Only a couple things I'll even say about talents. Energized Barriers allows your Mage Barrier to remove the enfeebling spittle dot. You press this even when you get a dispel, as the barrier is most of your self-sustain. Supernova over Dragon's Breath, it's got a longer range and a longer crowd control for when an ad spawns and you need to interrupt the web, but still keep your counter spell for the incoming heal. And Mass Barrier also benefits from energized barriers. So either for the barrier itself or the snare removal effect. This works as a backup. It's a 3-minute cooldown though. Displacement, solid heal. Hero talents aren't even worth talking about really. Severe temperatures, this is the damage increase on Frostfire Bolt. I like that over the cast time reduction. You're only getting 2 Frostfire Bolts per Winter's Chill anyway. You can always find time to cast it. It only knocks 1/10 of a second off your cast time. And then the Frost build itself is simply every Frostbolt talent I can find. And then anything that additionally plays into that or scales damage. For the build itself, we're just using Winter's Chill, consuming that with Frostfire Bolt. Pretty much only using Ice Lances to farm Winter Chill resets, or when you're moving, or otherwise cannot commit enough time to set up a Winter's Chill followed by 2 Frostfire Bolts. It's kind of free damage that's always going to be there. It's not good damage. That said, any way you do damage is fine. The snare removal is pretty much the majority of what you're looking for here. That's just my recommendation. Let me know if you got something better. As for the gear itself, 619 crafted one-hander with a magic damage proc embellishment. I have a bunch of verse gems and the movement speed blasphemite. But obviously if I have a bunch of verse gems, I'm not really benefiting from the additional movement speed per unique color. Good gem otherwise. Check it out if you feel slow. 6% verse base. Dark Moon deck. That's about it. And again, Healer Brann, Arrowhead Idol, Amorphous Relic. And here's the pull itself. We'll take a look at it. I'll point out anything that I think is relevant. You can generally expect to take 3 melees unless he crits you. And with the Flurry Frostfire build, consuming flurries with Frostfire, right? I felt my damage was pretty good and I always had enough for the ads for the most part. So I just kind of use everything when it's up. Sometimes I might save damage. And with this build, basically you're only hitting Ice Lance to farm new Winter Chills. Or if you can't commit enough globals to apply the debuff and get 2 casts off. Damage felt very good. Just like the other 2 classes, kind of staying in the middle, making sure we don't get too far out. Enfeebling Spit, and then we Ice Barrier. Press it every time, even if you're going to get a Dispel. It's a lot of self-sustain, and it'll be up for the next one. Didn't have anything, so we sat in our Ice Block. I do that again, and I blind myself a couple times. I have a funny failure at the end where I blind myself. I'm getting talked at too, that's funny. I think I'm trying to be a little bit more frugal with my blinks because not having them and having Ice Block is definitely rough. I probably should have already reset the Ice Block just so I have it and I don't have to think about doing it later. Stay in the middle of the room. Spittle goes out. I even had the protective ward, meaning it was not going to get the debuff. I still pressed my Ice Barrier. Not going to need it for any other reason. I'm getting talked. It's so funny. I didn't realize Kaz was Poor Brann is getting stomped. Spittle, and we barrier. Kick at the very end of the carapace. He's at 60%. Buy an extra percent. 58 maybe? Yeah, look at that. 57. I probably missed quite a few shifting power casts. Not a great button. I got very generous with Brann getting targeted by the smashes. And we're just moving around, and I was a panic blink. Whew. Kicking at the end. New web terror coming up. Just dodging, get away from the portals. You can see the little web going between them. That'll grab you and, you know. Poor Brann. And we're moving, we're moving. It feels like you pretty much have all day, especially at this time. Under 60%, he really doesn't melee you too much. And if you're not right next to him, he has to walk a little bit. He might only get 2 every time. And we cloak it off. I say cloak, I barrier it off. You can definitely Fortnite res Brann, but if you don't do it right away, it's probably not worth trying to go out of your way to do it. I got a friendly ad spawn for once. And just away from the portals, don't want to get grabbed. Fortuitous claw smash on Brann, and we annihilate that cocoon. So much damage. Barrier off the spittle, and we're moving. And remember, with like a third of the cast left on unending spines, you can just plant your feet because there's no more coming up. And I need to move. Brann's getting farmed. I got hit by so many of those. We're moving. Now we can plant. Start casting. Yeah. And I wouldn't really mess around. Just every cocoon. As soon as you feel like you're going to push it, you're just not going to have the damage. It's super sad when you have to shifting power during a cocoon spawn. I was not being responsible about that. And we're moving. I feel very far behind here. I think we get this one killed. We get a quick kick on the boss, and then we have to ice block this, or we DIE. Nice. Eliminate the ad, and we're just going through the paces. Brann's in the corner. Barrier off the spittle. That was the first frontal I had to deal with, seemingly the whole time. That was the one I managed to finish off before it spawned. I was super surprised about that. Spittle, barrier. Easy game. Hardly. A lot of fun though. And we kick. You imagine. And that's the fight. So that's about it for Mage. I want to thank you guys for joining us. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, I hope I've earned that consideration. We've also unlocked memberships for our viewers, so please check that out for access to unique perks. Also, let me know what you guys want to see with that. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you like the video. Share with your friends. Roast me in the comments. Bye.